Hello, 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 beautiful people. So happy to have you stop by and check out this video. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rachel Dale and I'm a health coach for women entrepreneurs, supporting them on their weight loss journeys. So something that I want to share with you today, something that I love to talk about. I'm a little bit of an organizational freak and planner, and I love being really, really organized. So meal prepping and meal planning really is my jam. I love it. So what I wanted to share with you today are meal prep ideas for busy entrepreneurs, because I know, we don't have a lot of time. So having a plan and having to do something that doesn't take us a lot of time really is going to fit well into our schedules, especially, even when we're working from home. Sometimes we think, oh, I'm working from home, I can just grab something. But often we make health or, food decisions that we think aren't necessarily the greatest, because even if we're working from home, we're still really busy. So what do I want to share with you today? So when it comes to meal planning and meal prepping, planning literally is the key. I mean, it's in the phrase, real big part of it. But being prepared and planning really is going to save you in this area, because I'm not all about, measuring every gram that you eat and, sticking to a strict schedule. I'm not about that at all. But if you want to, maintain a healthy lifestyle and you are a busy individual, you really need to plan to make that happen. Because if you think about it in business, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur and you want to make money in your business, you kind of have to plan that. You have to, sit at the beginning of the month and plan your goals. What's your income goal for the month? What's your, how do you want to build your list? How are you going to go about doing that? And then you have to take action every day towards that. And, taking care of yourself really isn't any different. You really have to plan that. Because often what you will find is when you first start out planning, especially if it's new for you, it's something that you have to think about and plan, but it'll become a habit for you, and making healthy choices and healthy decisions will become second nature, and you'll have to plan less because that stuff is happening automatically. So got some tips that I want to share with you today that are going to help you stay, healthy, have loads of energy so you can work in your business, be really creative, and so also that you're not spending a lot of time in the kitchen, because I'm not about that. Don't like spending hours in the kitchen. Don't like spending my whole Sunday afternoon, meal prepping. Life to live, people. Life to live. So the three things that, there's four tips that I want to share with you. The first tip, or the first thing that we discussed, was planning. Planning really is key. And so there's three things that fall under planning, which really help you stay organized. And so you really need to have a meal planner, having a shopping list, and doing your shopping online. Some people really like to go to the markets on the weekend. That's totally fine. Some people have more time to go to the grocery store. That's totally fine. I prefer to do my shopping online because I prefer to have more time to spend doing the things that I want to do. I don't not like shopping. I just prefer to spend my time doing something else at this point in my life. So having a meal planner is really key. Having a shopping list is really key, and doing your shopping online, because like neat little trick, you can actually save like shopping lists in your online shopping, depending where you shop online. And so each week, if you buy the same sort of like your milk and your eggs and your whatevers, if you buy those same things every week, you can save that. All you have to just click on the list and say, for example, you still got a loaf of bread, that's fine. You can just unclick that week. Time-saving trick. So planning is key. The second thing is have books around you that you are inspired by. I'm talking about like cooking books and healthy books. So I usually have 3 or 4 books around me that I'm, browsing through, reading, and they always have loads of recipes in them. Being a health coach, I love to read healthy books. But they've always got loads of recipes. So have books around you that are inspiring you. Think like, oh, that recipe really, really fun to try, or that looks really delicious. And I'm not talking about, spending the whole weekend going through and picking out recipes. Usually pick 1 or 2 that you could try during the week. You can practice a few times, and that becomes an easy meal that you can make because you've tried it, you've enjoyed it, you've got it down pat, and so you sometimes can just whip it out on a whim. Maybe not a whim, but you get what I'm saying. And that will also help you have a lot of variety in your diet, because what I was finding was that I was eating the same thing over and over again, and I was getting so bored with it. So what I would do was look for like treats and like, quote unquote naughty, I don't like using that word, but naughty snacks, or, something that would spice up my variety of food, because I was just eating the same thing. I was getting really bored. But if you have books around you that you're, once a week trying a different recipe, or, trying a different smoothie recipe, maybe, sign up to someone's blog that you really enjoy and they send out recipes every week, then you're not looking for those, naughty snacks, or like the bag of chips, or like the 8 cups of coffee, or whatever it is, because you're getting that variety in your food anyway. So the third tip was using your weekends to keep you ahead. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm not a fan of spending all my Sunday afternoon cooking up food for the week. Don't like it. Sundays really remind me of the beginning of the week starting. I don't want to, I want to be out there reading a book, lying in the hammock, taking my dogs for a walk, that kind of stuff. But use the weekends to make sure that you are ahead of the game when the week starts. So maybe I usually spend about an hour on the weekend. So that's all it takes, like cutting up veg, cutting up meat into portion sizes. So for example, if I know I'm going to have like a Thai curry during the week, I'll cut up the chicken breasts and put it in a sandwich bag, put it in the freezer. So on Wednesday when I'm having green Thai curry, in the morning I can take it out, let it defrost, and it's already cut up. So when I'm getting to like actually cook dinner, I don't have to spend the 10 minutes cutting up the chicken. So the same thing with the veggies. You're going to have a stir fry. You want to have, I don't know, roast veggies on this day, or you want to have steamed veggies on this day. Cut them up so that you're already one step ahead into your meal. So when you come home, you don't have to start the whole meal from scratch. That like saves me every time, guys. I usually cut it up, put it in Ziploc bags, and put it in the fridge or the freezer, depending on what it is, whether it's meat or something. And like that, it just keeps it streamlined, it keeps it smooth, it keeps things moving. And sometimes when you come home, or you've been on a day of coaching calls or whatever it is, and you think to yourself, no, I've now got to make this whole meal. But if you've already had everything cut up and all you have to do is really throw it in the pan, you're more than likely actually going to make that meal, as opposed to, it's too much effort, I'll just go out and get some takeaway, or I'll go, I'll just have a toasted sandwich or something like that. So using your weekends and cutting up your veg and your meat ahead of time, putting it in the freezer, is really, really key. And the fourth thing that I want to share with you, the fourth tip, which I find super helpful, is making one meal on the weekend. So often I will make like a batch of soup, or I'll make like a chicken bake or something, and I'll make that on the weekend, and I'll put it into like individual portions, and I'll chuck it in the freezer. So what that means, and I do this a lot with soup, especially in the winter time, and also bone broth, is I'll make up a batch of soup. I'll get like sandwich bags, put the soup in the sandwich bag, put the date on it, tell obviously what it is, put that in the freezer. So often during the week, if either my partner's not home for dinner, or I've forgotten about lunch, or got to get a quick lunch out of the freezer, I can just pull out one portion size of soup and defrost it, and it's done. I know what went into the soup. I know it's like packed full of nutrients. I know it's enjoyable because I made it. Or you can make a bake. Like I often make a bake that has got like enough for 2 people, and that's one day a week that I don't actually have to make a meal. And so sometimes I'll do that for the middle of the week, or towards the end of the week, maybe like a Thursday night, when Friday night's always takeout night, so that's fun. But Thursday I think, like I've got to got a couple of things I've got to do. Dinner's already made. All you have to do is put it in the oven. So I hope those tips are really, really, really helpful for you guys. I'll recap them. So the first one was planning is key. Planning is really, really key. Not overly obsessive, planning every single second, but being ahead of the game, planning what you're going to have. There's always changes. That's going to keep you on a healthy track. And under planning, you need to have your meal planner, you need to have your shopping list, and your online shopping. Really recommend those 3 things. The second tip was have books around you, healthy books, recipe books, that kind of stuff, that you can get inspiration from, that you can borrow a recipe that you can try once a week, or you can try a new smoothie. That's just going to keep variety in what you're eating, which is going to keep it exciting. And also you're going to practice new recipes, which is always fun. The third tip was use your weekends to cut up your veg and your meat, and put the stuff in the freezer. Like, if you're going to be having like a stir fry, cut up all the meat, put it in a Ziploc bag, and put it in the freezer. So when you're ready, you just take it out in the morning, and it's defrosted by dinner time, and you can just throw it together. And the fifth thing was use your weekends to make a meal, a freezable meal, whether it's make up a batch of soups. I don't necessarily do this every weekend because sometimes I make enough that it can last me 2 or 3 weeks. So I might do it once every 2 or 3 weeks. Make up a meal that you can put in the freezer so that when, you've gotten about dinner or, something's happened or it's just you and you just want a soup, all you have to do is take that out and it's ready to go. So you've made a healthy choice. You've planned ahead of time. You know that it's going to be good for you. You know it's going to be delicious. So I hope that was helpful. I really love talking about this subject. Like I really love being organized. I love talking about how, to be healthy and, to make healthy choices, it doesn't have to be all this, massive big deal. It doesn't have to be a massive life change. You just make small, decisions every day towards your health. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out the training below. Click on the link and register for the training. And I talk a lot about how delicious foods really are your key to living a vibrant, energetic life, and how really this is the way to go. It doesn't have to be restrictive. It doesn't have to be what we thought it was. It really is about living a life of vitality, of energy, being in the best shape of your life. So make sure you click the link below to register for the training, and I can't wait to see you there. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you soon.